your guard speaking. This is the South Western Railway service for London Waterloo. Early Winner's Triangle, Winner, Woking, Bracknell, Martins Heron, Ascot, Sollingdale, Longcross, Virginia Water, Egham, Staines, Felton, Twickenham, Richmond, Clapham Junction and London Waterloo. The scheduled arrival time of 11:34.
Just made it onto the train now. It's about 9:55 and then this train leaves at 10:09, and then the train I'm on right now is the one that goes to London Waterloo, and then I'll go from here to Wimbledon, and then when I get to London Waterloo I need to get another train ticket. I could have got both tickets here in Reading, but I didn't bother because I genuinely thought that at the till I would have said Wembley, not Wimbledon, because I keep getting the two mixed up, and I didn't want to have to pay for a train ticket to a place I'm not even going to, so that's why I didn't get it. Yeah, so I'll just have to work out how to do it on my phone or work out how to do it in London Waterloo, so I'll just work it out when I get there. Realistically, no idea what's going on with my hair at all. For this appointment I genuinely thought that it was the 12th of November because when I got the phone call last month, I'm sure the lady on the phone said that it was definitely for the 12th of November. So I got on this train, paid for a return to Waterloo and then a return Waterloo to Wimbledon, and then I got on this train, got to about Bracknell, looked on the sheet of paper from the email and it said the appointment was the 26th of November, and that was just a whole hassle that I had to sort out. And then I got off at Bracknell, got on the other side of the platform for a train back to Reading. I tried to phone the people at this hospital and tried to work out what's going on, and then when they got back to me I was already on the train back to Reading, and the lady on the phone, I don't know if it was the same person as before, I don't know, I can't remember, but they said, the lady on the phone said that I could have had my appointment on that day, the 12th, Tuesday, even though it wasn't actually booked in for that day, and even though the lady on the phone said that it was for the 12th, but it was all confusing. But I was already on the train back to Reading, and I wasn't going to then get off at the next station, cross over the platform to then wait for another train to Waterloo. I wasn't going to do that. It was just a bit messed up that day. But then I got the money back for my train ticket from Reading Station, and then I just went home. So yeah, it was confusing and messed up. If I lived closer to Wimbledon or Wembley or whatever it is, then I would have gone to the appointment after the lady said that I could have gone that day. It is what it is, and I live in Reading and I have to go to London. But I was literally on this train a few days ago for my blood test in London at TransPlus, and then I'm on it again today. At least I know with this train the first few stops are places that I've heard of and that I know and that aren't that far away from where I live. So that's significantly better than the Elizabeth line train, even though that station is like right next to Soho where I have to go. This train's Waterloo, and that's like a 30-minute walk. And as I'm saying about the Elizabeth line, one is literally going past me right now. I'll see you when I get to London Waterloo, and then we'll see what happens next.
We're going into platform 24, so the doors will open on the right hand side.
So I'm now outside Waterloo Station. I've had food and I have tried to work out how to get to Wimbledon. I think I've worked it out, and I've got to go slightly back on myself, one or two stops, and that's it. That's exactly what I do, and just feel so sick. So a few of the trains have been delayed, and then just not knowing really at all where I am or at all where I'm going. I've never been there before, so let's just hope it goes to where it needs to go and I get to where I need to get. I just want this appointment to be no longer than an hour because it's at 2:50 p.m. I don't really want to have to get one of the busy trains home, even though that's more than likely what's going to happen. We'll find out eventually. Now let's just see if I can find the right train to Wimbledon and not get on one that goes to Wembley, because that would be a complete mistake.
Safety information is displayed
servitor. Your next bus is...
I've just made it out of the station, Wimbledon station, and I'm in the shopping quarter now, but I didn't expect Wimbledon to look the way it does. I'll put a video on screen now to show you what it looks like. I just didn't expect it to look like this. I don't know what I expected it to look like. Christmas tree down there, and you've got a bit down there, and then you've got this down here. There's like umbrellas that are attached to like wires and that. I was wondering what that place is, but it's obviously like rock climbing on the wall and that. That's pretty good. It's like right in the centre. Got these like Christmas lights there, and then there's more stuff down there as well. It's like the Oracle in Reading really, but the top doesn't seem to have much here, because that one's shut. That one over there looks closed. I think it's a gym. There doesn't seem to be anything here, but I've seen escalators, so I'm gonna go down. I've just walked up a massive hill all the way here, about 40 minutes or so, and I think it's there behind me, Parkside, Nuffield, whatever you want to call it. So I think I found it, but I've still got ages until my appointment. It's currently 2:10 PM and my appointment's not until 2:50 PM, which is alright. I got here early, and I think the piece of paper say to get here early or before the appointment, but I just have to see how long before I can go in. I think it's probably 15-ish minutes or something like that. I'll just go find somewhere to sit down quickly. I've not found anywhere to sit down, but it's going to be a bit noisy because I'm right next to a main road, but I'm right outside the hospital. I don't feel as bad as what I was feeling when I got on the train, especially when I was on the train to Wimbledon. And then I just thought to myself, oh god, Wimbledon's going to be a short platform station. I'm going to have to be in like the front carriages or something, and I don't know what carriage I was in. So I was going to get off at one of the stations and then go to the next door along from where I was, so I could go down the train to like the third carriage or something. But I didn't need to do that after all, because Wimbledon's a big station, which I didn't know, but now I do. The information thing that I've got about this appointment doesn't say a time for me to go in, but I will go in 10 minutes before or 15 minutes before. But I've still got a long time. Let's just hope this appointment doesn't go longer than 45 minutes, but it could do if it wanted to. Let's just hope it doesn't. I kind of want to get back to somewhere where I know. I'm slightly familiar with Waterloo and that because I've been there a few times now, but I'd just much rather be Reading way, because I know where I am then and I can actually think. But let's just go in and see what happens. I've got about 20 minutes. Let's hope I can get in there quick. Got an appointment at 2:50.
Right. Just need to make a quick phone call. You just have a sit down there, and that's your information sheet. I just need to let my team know we've lost somebody's notes.
So I'm now out of my appointment, and I'll tell you about that later. And then maybe the next time that I go to this Parkside place, I'll be able to get the bus up instead of walking both ways. But the people around here are so posh, it's unbelievable. And the houses around here are expensive looking. I wonder how much it would cost to live down there. A lot of money. Let's just get back to the train station and see when the trains are. So I've now been to my first top surgery appointment, and it went okay. I think it was a bit rushed. I don't know if it was because of the time, but then it was at 2:50, so then why would it be rushed? I don't know. It all happened too quickly. I didn't want it to be like 2 hours long. I kind of thought it would be, and that it would have to be to go through a whole load of series of questions, like what happened when I first went to my appointments at Trans Plus, where I started medically transitioning there. But this appointment, 20-30 minutes maybe, I don't know if you could hear it or really see it that well in the video when I was at Parkside, but the doctor said to me that she had to go out to make a phone call because she lost someone's notes, or someone at the place lost someone's notes. Whilst I was waiting in the waiting room, there was other people sat in there. They weren't all trans. I think there was me and possibly 3 or 4 other people in there that were trans. The rest of the people were just like there for other medical appointments. I saw this nurse come out to one of the people who looked as if they were trans, and they were explaining to them that they couldn't find their notes or lost their notes and all of that kind of stuff. And I thought that was a bit strange and a bit weird. But how could you just lose someone's notes? I don't get it. That was confusing to me. But I went into the appointment. The lady left to make a phone call. She came back and she seemed alright, realistically. She was a bit off, like a bit arrogant, rude, self-centered. I don't know why, reason behind that, but that's just what I got from her. But she seemed to just want to get the appointment over and done with. I don't know if she had been running late. I don't know. I never found out. She asked me to take my t-shirt off so she could look at my chest area, and she said that the best option is to have the surgery where you have the scars underneath. This to me was something that I didn't want to have. Like, my preference wouldn't have been that one. I would have preferred the one where you didn't have the scars. I'm completely not remembering the names of the different types of top surgery right now, but I will try and find them and put them on screen. But I realistically would prefer not to have the scars. But then realistically, I would just want whatever the best option would be for me to have. And I thought that the surgery with the scars underneath, that would be for people who are bigger chested, and I'm not someone that is or has ever been big chested, which is a great thing for me with my dysphoria. I think that maybe if I was bigger chested, then I would have more dysphoria about my chest, regardless of how big or how small that area is. I still would have had dysphoria anyway, so it's not like it's not here because I've got a smaller chest. I do think that as well, it is a very long way for me to go, Reading to Wimbledon. I know the Nuffield hospitals are private, but I'm not at all paying private prices for this. If I was, then I wouldn't choose London. I wouldn't choose Nuffield in Wimbledon. I know there's not very many options for trans people to medically transition anyway, privately or NHS, so I might have had to go that far if I was paying private. I've never looked into private care because I would never be able to afford it, realistically. So for me, this is all done through the NHS. Gave a charter, or whatever you want to call it, to Trans Plus, which is a sexual health place, to have trans healthcare there. And then they made the referral through to Parkside for me to have my top surgery there. And they've obviously accepted it, and I don't have to pay anything except for the travel. And that's it. And then what's going to happen now is in 3 months I'm going to get a phone call just asking me how I am and my situation. And then about 4 months after that, roughly, is potentially when I could have this top surgery. So I'm really going to have to work out what to do with that. And the doctor said that she will be doing it, and the whole operation would take 2 hours. I thought it would take a lot longer than that. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a scientist, I don't know these things. I would have to stay there overnight and then come back the next day to Reading, and then I've got to try and sort out and ask whether or not I can get the train home on my own, or if I can find someone to come with me, or to get to London and then come back home with me, But this is all things that I'm going to have to sort out. I'm doing this because of myself and myself only, and I know full well that this is exactly what I need to have. I know that for sure, and it would just make me so much better and happier in myself, and then I can go out there and just do so much more with my life from having the top surgery done. But I forgot to say in the last clip that the only things I really need to do for my top surgery is 1, wait, 2, save money, and then sort of do chest exercises so it builds up my chest so it's easier for the surgeon to do the top surgery. And then I think that's it basically. And just hoping that it goes well and nothing happens where it gets in the way of top surgery. So let's just hope it doesn't.